All right, we're going to show you in this video how to do a box plot. So I'm going to start in Minitab and I'm going to open up the courier process data. So I'm going to go to Open, going to my OPEX data. I go to the courier process.mpj file. And pull this data pane up a little bit. So I've got 4 columns. The first column is the parcel weights. It's numeric. Got location, business type, and service used. All 3 of those are text columns. So I'm going to create a box plot of the parcel weights. So start by going to graph, type a box plot. I'm going to do a simple box plot just of one group. And in the graph variables box, I've clicked in there, and you can see I've only got column 1, the parcel weights, to choose from. It's the only column that has numeric data in it. So I'm going to choose that and click on OK. All right, I'm going to move the data pane down just a little bit. So this is a box plot of parcel weight. If I hover over the box, it shows me the median is 3.65. That's the middle line right here of the box. It also shows me quartile 1 is 3.1875. Quartile 3 is 4.08. So that's the bottom right here, and the top right here. There's the first quartile, 3.1875, and the top is at 4.08. So that's where the middle 50% of the data resides. There's 100 columns, or excuse me, 100 rows of data in this table. So 100 different parcel weights. And if they were arranged in order, the middle 2 values, because it's an even number, so the middle 2, the 50th and the 51st averaged together will be 3.65. Number 25 and 26 average together the first 25. So that first quartile, the boundary that marks the first 25% of the rows of data, will be at 1.875, and the third quartile is 4.08. I'm going to try and show you this here. I'm going to rearrange this data in order by parcel weights. You don't have to do this, but you can see it now. It's all arranged in numeric order from the smallest to the largest, 100 rows. So the median is going to be the average of row 50 and row 51. That's the midpoint of the 100 rows of data. The first quartile is going to be the average of the 25th and 26th. And then the third quartile will be the average of the 75th and the 76th. So this box plot essentially shows you how the data is arranged, how it's shaped. You have these vertical lines above and below the box. Those indicate the extent of the range of the data. If there are outliers, then those outliers would show as asterisks above or below the whiskers there. I'm going to do another quick thing here to show you again how this reflects the shape of the data. To go to Stat, Basic Statistics, Graphical Summary. I'll do the graphical summary of the parcel weights. Typically, we do the graphical summary to see how it's distributed, whether it's a normal distribution or not. What I want to draw your attention to is this right here. This is a box plot. It's laid horizontally instead of vertically, but you can see that it's arranged with the median right there at 3.65. It shows the first quartile and the third quartile. So 50% of the data is right in here. Right? So this is a horizontally laid out box plot. By default, when we create a box plot, it's going to be vertically arranged like this. So you can see that this box right here is really the same as this box right there. All right, I'm going to go back and do another box plot. This time I'm going to group the parcel weights. And so I'll go back to graph, box plot. I'm going to do it with groups. And what I'm plotting is the parcel weight, but I'm categorizing and I'm grouping it. And I'm going to group it by the business type. So I click on business type in there, click on OK. And now what I've got is Boxplot showing me how the commercial data is arranged and how the residential data is arranged, essentially the shape of those days. You can see that the median weight for the commercial business is higher, 3.94, than the residential, 3.3. We can also see, if you look at this a tooltip box that opens up, it says n equals 50 at the bottom. That means there's 50 rows of data for the residential business. However, here it says n equals 50, means there's 50 rows of data for the commercial business. And then just to show another display, I'm going to go and do edit last dialog. Instead of doing business type, I'm going to do service used. So I've got 3 services. I've got express, normal, and overnight. And again, you can see how the data are arranged. You can see this interquartile range here, the middle 50%, is centered around the median of 3.245. The normal business is heavier. The median there is 3.995. And for overnight, the median is 3.555. While I'm hovering over the overnight, you can see at the bottom there, the n equals 10. So there are 10 rows of overnight data in that table, 48 rows of normal service in that data table, and 42 rows of express service type in that data. If I want to, I can also nest these groups even further. I'm going to go again, stat, boxplot, and I'll just go ahead and do groups again. And I'm going to do, first I'm going to layer it by location, and then layer it by business type. Make sure it's done. Location, business type. There we go. So you can see in England and in France, commercial and residential, commercial and residential. You can see that in both cases, the residential has a lower median weight than the commercial. The commercial medians are pretty close. The residential medians look like they're pretty close as well, although it looks like in England, that interquartile range goes higher than it does in France. So box plots are an easy way to show how the data are shaped by groups. It allows you to identify very easily the median, where the middle section of the data is clustered, and compare groups against each other. That's a box plot.